Hello students, this lecture slide and voicing of the course GSP 1201/2201 Use of English, which comes in the fourth semester of the 2020-2021 academic session for the Group E, Department of Allied Health Sciences, Dentistry and Clinical Sciences by Sani Said Ibrahim from the Department of English and Literary Studies. Welcome on board. So in this class, the topic today is tenses. As we know, tenses or tense in English grammar or in English language is very important as far as sentence construction or communication is concerned. Generally, we understand that tense indicates the time of an action or event. It forms the very verb that shows the time or continuance or completion of an action or states expressed by the verb. So generally, we can see tense indicates or denotes the time of an action. And generally speaking, there are three times or in which tense shows the action that take place in English language. These are present, past, and future. All the tenses we're going to discuss fall under these three categories. They either show present actions, past actions, or future actions. Now let's take the first one, present action. Present tense is a tense that shows habitual action or state of being. It shows the idea of the currency associated with it. This type of sentence is divided into as follows. Number one, there is simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to show a habitual action that always take place. For example, we go to mosque every Friday. We take bath every morning. Ali eats rice. It also should express an action. He enjoys the lecture. Musa attends the class. Another function of present tense is expression of general action that is considered to be true or will be true in the future. Example, when you say the sun rises or the sun sets in the west, or you say mosquito transmits malaria, or the earth is spherical. All these are ideas that are considered to be true. Now is the next is the present continuous tense. This is a tense that shows an action that is taking place at the time of speaking or writing. It is usually formed by using am, is, are plus the ing form of the verb. For example, I am going, I am eating, he is writing. You will find that in the constituent of the verb, you have two words considered to be verb. If you take this sentence, I am lecturing. Am and lecturing are the verbs, but one is auxiliary verb and the other one is main verb. The verb with ing here is considered the main verb, while am or is or are considered the auxiliary verb, or in other words, helping verbs, because they help the main verb to carry out its action. He is writing. Is an auxiliary verb or helping verb, and the writing is the main verb. The next is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense is used to show an action that has just taken place. And here there are two situations in which the present perfect tense is used. By using has or have plus the participle form of the verb. To express an action just completed. They've arrived, they have finished the work, he has gone. All these are present perfect tenses. To express an action that is completed in the past whose effect continues up to the present moment. I have known Shehu for 10 years. The student have sat down. You see, the action has just taken place in the past, but just now they have sat down. You can link the completion of the action and the present moment. So that's also a present perfect. The next is present perfect continuous tense. This is used to show an action which started in the past but continues up to the present moment. As the title implies, perfect continuous tense. Then you say, I have been receiving lectures for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She has been waiting for like 3 hours. It has been raining heavily. All these are present perfect continuous. The next is simple past tense. Past expresses an action that is completed in the past. We normally use past tense when narrating a story. It's also divided into following. The past simple. It shows an action that took place in the past. For example, I cooked. She went to the market. He phoned my friends. I called you yesterday. All these are simple past tense. Then habitual actions in the past. It rained every day in August. They went to church every Sunday. The boys ran to school daily. All these are past tense. It also expressed state of being in the past. The soup was tasteless. Musa became rich later. The past continuous tense. This is an action that is taking place in the past. For example, I was eating when they entered. I was writing when he visited me. I was praying in the mosque. He was going to school. She was cooking when I visited her parents. All these are present, simple past progressive tense or past continuous. The next is past perfect tense. This is an action. This is a verb tense that shows an action that had completed earlier in the past before another action began. I had finished lecture before she arrived. Notice that we say one action finished before another one then started or began. We had taken lunch. I had seen him before they left. The past perfect continuous tense. This is an action that was completed. It shows two actions. One had been taking place up to when another action began. She had been keeping the money. I had been teaching the English language. Student had been cheating in exams since before independence. Then future tense. This shows action that will take place in the future. There are 4 forms of the future tense in English as follows. Simple future tense. I will travel. I will see him. I shall go to the school. I will give him the money. All these are simple future tenses. Then future continuous tense. This shows an action that will be in progress in future. It is formed by using will be or shall be plus the ing form. He shall be finishing this lecture by next month. You will be coming next week. I will be driving to home. Future perfect. This tense shows an action that will be finished in future. This is formed by using will have. Will have plus past participle form of the verb. For example, we shall have completed this course by the end of November. Boys will have eaten by night. She will have gone home by noon. Then you can notice that though it's in future, but it shows that in future it will be finished. Definitely with certainty that The action will finish in the future. Then future perfect continuous tense. This tense shows an action that will have been in progress in future. It is formed by using will have been, shall have been plus the ing form of the verb. For example, Ali will have been eating his lunch by this time tomorrow. So you will notice that though the time of the action is yet to come, but we forecast that the action will be completed in the future. Adamu will have been eating his lunch. We shall have been completing this course by this time next month. Student will have been going home by 6 o'clock. The next topic is punctuation marks. They are also called mechanical accuracy or traffic signs because in writing they are very important. They change the meaning of how you communicate. They help us in communication. They serve as the traffic signs of our writing because they show where we should stop, where we should pause, where we should divide, where we should pause, and so on. So punctuation marks show divisions between sentences and part of sentences. It makes reading so easy and beautiful because it shows where necessary you should pause or you should stop. Punctuation marks makes understanding of a passage or writing easier. There are 3 types of punctuation used at the end of each sentence or terminal punctuation marks. These are full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark. Why are they called terminal? Because whenever you use them, then you terminate or you show the end of the sentence. The full stop. Full stop is also called periods. It is used in the following sense. It is used to mark the end of a declarative sentence or statement. For example, he eats rice. You put full stop. If you write this sentence, he eats rice, and you did not put the full stop, then definitely the sentence does not end. So full stop is very important. It is raining. Full stop. The full stop is also used at the end of imperative sentence. If the imperative sentence not strong enough to require an exclamation mark. For example, open the windows. Go and call me a doctor. If imperative sentence is a command sentence, but there are some commands that are very direct, some are indirect. So most of these indirect commands as imperative sentences, we use full stop to terminate them. Eat as much as you like. The full stop is used for after abbreviations. For example, Alhaji A.B. Mahmoud, Mr. T.M. Awaisu, Aliu Kamal, page. Then, apart from using full stop in the names of people, companies and government agencies are often referred to by their initial letters. For example, NTA, NPA, NITER, BUK, etc., etc. The question mark. Question mark is used after a direct or a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question which does not require an answer. For example, what is your name? How old are you? All these are direct questions. Do you know his name? For example, can a man ever learn from his past mistakes? You don't need to answer this question because the answer is already known. So these are called rhetorical questions. Exclamation mark. As the name implies, exclamation marks are used at the end of exclamatory sentence. Come here if you dare. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, amazing. What a nice. The comma. Commas are used between words in a list. This means that they are used to separate words or, for example, he has milk, sugar, biscuits, soap, and bottled water in his house. That means we use comma to list items. She came across a short, fat, ill-tempered fellow. Commas are also used to separate clauses in compound sentences. The chairman arrived at the conference on time, and everybody stood up. The sun was not shining, but still it was hot. So you can notice the various uses of comma. So as using this in your writings, which make your writing more academic, more formal, and more grammatical. Colon is used in a sentence to introduce a list. For example, he goes to the market and buy the following: sugar, tea, milk, powder, and so on, or etc. etc. The subject I like are English, geography, economics, government, and biology. Colon can also be used for an extension of an express idea or information. For example, we submitted our term papers to the teacher at different times as follows: Adamu early in the morning, Halima at noon, Muhammad in the evening. Colon is also used for a formal introduction of quotation. For example, commenting Bilkisu's brilliant performance, the teacher says. So, if you want to quote somebody, so immediately after you've reported, then you might have said, the person said. So immediately after said, we will use colon to introduce the quotation quoting. The semicolon is used to separate clauses in a compound sentence when there is no coordinating conjunction. For example, if you have two compound sentences which do not need or require conjunction, coordinating conjunction, then we use a semicolon to divide the sentences. The farmer planted millet. He did not plant rice. I told him to wait. I did not tell him to eat. A semicolon can also be used to separate clauses in a compound sentence which has but as a coordinating conjunction. The teacher has different kind of goods, but they are expensive. Some students do not work hard, but they want to pass their examinations. So you notice the difference between the sentence and example 1 and example 2. In example 1, we say it is used to separate two clauses or clauses in a compound sentence which do not have coordinating conjunction. She came, she did not get the money. These are two sentences which are in compound sentence and has no coordinating conjunctions. But we say if with but as coordinating conjunction, you can still use semicolon to separate the sentence. Apostrophe. In writing, we sometimes use contraction. That is, we omit a letter or some letters in a word. In most cases, when we contract a word, we combine it with another word so that we have a single expression. I don't know. Adam will not come. The meeting will be held at 4 o'clock. I'm sorry to hear that. Aren't you coming to me? All these we use contraction to abbreviate or to shorten the words and pronounce them as if we complete it. We also use the apostrophe with S after a noun or pronoun to form the possessive. In fact, we use apostrophe to show positions. This is Ali's book. This is Sani's house. Then immediately after Sani's, we use apostrophe and then S. The capitals. We use a capital letter for the first letter of all proper nouns. Sani, Ali, John, Bayero University, Kano, Nigeria, and so on. Names of oceans: Atlantic, Pacific, Indian. Names of continent: Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia. Names of months: January, February. Names of days of the week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Other uses of the capital: we capitalize the first letter of the first word of every sentence. This is obvious. Any writing you start, the first letter has to be capitalized. We capitalize the first letter of every line of poetry. We capitalize the pronoun I. We capitalize the first letter of the first word of opening and closing of a letter. Dear Abdul, yours sincerely. Conclusion. We come to the end of all discussion on the items in Module 2. Lecture 1 and 2, we have so far explained what classes, sentence structure, functions, tenses, and punctuation marks. As a result, we have 5 modules left to cover course content. Happy listening. Thank you.